Hi friends, good morning. I hope I'm audible and you
Good
can.
morning. Yes, yes, you're
Yeah, yeah,
audible. Good
yeah,
morning.
yeah. Thanks, man. Fine. Okay, so welcome to this webinar. As you know, this is a webinar on cloud computing, and in cloud computing, we will be learning the AWS cloud, right? Amazon Web Services. Okay, so before we see what is cloud computing and before we try to see what we are learning in cloud computing, let me just introduce myself. Okay, friends. So I'm Shakil. Hmm, with 14 plus years of experience in this IT field. Okay. And I have experience on different domains actually. I started my career on Windows Server Administration, plus network admin. Okay. So this is the year, I guess, 2007, 8. So this is the uh, first role of my career. And then I gradually moved into the Linux administration part. Like, whenever you talk about Windows, you need to talk about Linux also, right? Actually, Linux servers are more famous than Windows servers across the globe for many reasons. What are the reasons we will see? We have to discuss about Linux and Windows servers also in this particular, course. But as of now, Linux servers. Then, there was a concept called virtualization. Still it is there. I should not say there was a, still this concept is there. Actually, this is the reason why the cloud computing is there. Because of this virtualization concept, the concept of cloud computing is there. So I have experience on virtualization also, and in coming classes, we need to go through this virtualization concept so that we can understand the concept of cloud computing. I repeat, because of virtualization concept, we have the concept of cloud computing. Okay, anyhow, so this is your virtualization. And then, I have experience on security, that is your firewalls and all these things. This is what security is all about. And for last 6, 7 years, I am on cloud. Okay, now see, whatever experience I have in my career, Windows servers, network, Linux servers, virtualization, security, okay, and cloud computing now, all these things are part of cloud computing. If you know Windows servers, you know you'll be comfortable in some concepts of cloud. If you know network administration, you'll be comfortable in some concepts of cloud. If you know the virtualization part or if you know the security part, you will be comfortable in some concepts of cloud. So all these concepts are part of cloud computing. Okay. So whenever you are learning cloud computing, you will be learning some concepts of Windows servers, Linux servers, security concept, networking concept, virtualization concept, database concepts, and all those things. Okay, so anyhow, this is my experience, and cloud computing is like, a technology which is present, and obviously it is your future. Without cloud, we cannot imagine anything. But because of cloud, can we say networking people are not in demand, or security people, or Linux administrator? No, each and every role has its own importance here, my friend. So we came for cloud computing. So let us try to concentrate more on cloud computing. But as I said, if someone is a security guy, cyber security or firewall or whatever, that's a huge career for those people. If someone is a Linux administrator, there is a huge career waiting for those people. If someone is a network administrator, again, there is a huge career for networking people. Each and every, technology or course or, domain, whatever I have written there, there is a lot of scope in that particular domain. I will not ask people to go with this virtualization technology, hmm, because very soon companies are moving into cloud. Already they started moving. Many companies are in cloud, so hopefully most of the companies will go with your cloud infrastructure instead of virtual infrastructure. But again, virtualization and cloud, they are completely related with each other. But what I'm trying to say here is, instead of using virtualization within their company, they will prefer to use the virtualization which is their worthy cloud. Okay, it's a very big statement as of now for me to make. We'll come to this in great details in coming sessions, but as of now, this is me. Okay, now let us make a protocol. Let us, just try to keep some simple points in mind. One is, see, this is a live session, right? This is a live session and the session has already started recording. So the best thing you can do in this live session is you can interact with the trainer. So chat box is there, friends. I'm just sending a message in chat box. I just said hi there. So whenever you have any doubt or whenever you have any, question about this particular thing, feel free to send your question in the chat box. And at the end of the session, if you want to interact with me directly, you can simply unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. I always say this, whenever you are in a live session, you should have the option of interacting with the trainer. Okay, so I'm not disabling chat box here. I will not mute you from my side. Okay, unmuting option is always with you. But like I said, your friends, please don't try to unmute in the middle of the session. Okay, so after every 15 or 20 minutes, I'll just take a break for 30 seconds. So at that time, you can simply unmute yourself and you can have some interaction with me regarding that particular concept. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Use your chat box, send your questions, feel free to interact. This is the best way you can learn any course or any technology actually. Okay, so I'm available for you, chat box or through. Okay, after some days, actually, I'll share my WhatsApp number also there so that if you have any doubts while you do practice, you can simply send a message to me on my WhatsApp number. All the things will be available, but as of now, like I said, please try to utilize your chat box. Done? Now, let's see our main agenda for today. There is cloud computing. Okay, I already got a question here. Fine. The question is, let us know about the choice between AWS and Azure. That's a good question. Actually, I'll come to that question. But as of now, when you say the market, when you say the companies, majority of companies for last many years, I'm not saying like 22, 23 or 23, 24 year. I'm saying for last 10, 12, 15 years, in cloud computing, Amazon Web Services are the market leaders. Okay, AWS is your market leader. The second position is of Microsoft Azure. Third is for Google Cloud. Okay, so if you are confused like from where to start, shall we go with AWS or shall we go with Azure? My recommendation is go with AWS. Once you go with AWS, whatever you're learning in AWS, for example, let me just highlight some services here. VPC is a very important service. EC2 is a very important service. Storage is a very important service. IAM is a very important service. So like this, we have all these services and many more services. Okay, VPC, EC2, storage, and IAM. Let us say these are the four most important services. These four important services you are learning in AWS. Now, friends, when you go with Azure, Azure is a, cloud of Microsoft. Okay, AWS is from Amazon, Azure is from Microsoft. You know these two companies, right? We cannot survive without these two companies our day-to-day life. And the third one is your Google. Now just tell me a day when you use the internet and you have not used anything from Amazon or Microsoft or Google. It's very difficult to imagine using internet without these three companies, right? Okay, so AWS is at number one position for last many years. Azure is at number two and Google Cloud is at number three. Now, what I'm trying to show you here is, if you go with the services like VPC, EC2, storage, and IAM in AWS, same services will be there in Azure. Same services will be there in Google. And if you go with any other cloud provider, there also we have the same services. So try to learn AWS, and Azure you can learn by yourself, or Google Cloud you can learn by yourself. You just need to learn any one cloud provider. The other cloud providers you already know, you just need to see the practicals there. Got it? Fine. So, okay, we don't know what is EC2 or storage or IAM or VPC and all those things. We'll come to it. But as of now, I hope it is clear for you, like from where to start. Let me just show you some report here. There is something called Gartner's. They will publish reports every year. I have not seen the report for last year. Just a second, please. See, this is the report, my friend. You can see here, Amazon Web Services is at number 1 position. Okay, and then wait a second, please. Okay, so see here, AWS is at number 1 position. Then it is Microsoft. Then it is Google. Okay, these are, constant for last many years, 10, 12, 15 years, these are constant. Right now it is showing Alibaba. This is the year 2022. So they are showing Alibaba is number 4. But maybe now Alibaba has came down. Oracle can go up. IBM can go up. So like this, some fluctuation will be there in 4, 5, 6 in the other position. But 1, 2, 3 position is constant for last many years. Okay, fine. Let us address the big question, my friend. And what is a big question? What is cloud computing? Now, to know cloud computing, first of all, you should know some basics of computer networks, some basics of servers actually. So if you know some Linux server or networking part or some other concepts, then it will be very easy for you to understand the concept of cloud computing. So what I'll do here is I'll just go with a concept called server. Let me just write it down here. Server. I know you have heard about this particular terminology many a times in your life, right? For sure. Sometimes people will say like, okay, server is busy today. Sometimes people will say like, server is down. We are not able to pay money. Sometimes people will say like, server is busy. It is hanging. It is responding very slowly. So server is the term that we use every day, or maybe we have heard many times in our life. Now, if you know the concept of server, it will be very easy for us to understand the concept of cloud. Okay, so let us spend at least 5 to 10 minutes in, understanding the concept of server. Now, what is a server? So whenever you talk about server here, friends, we need to talk about two things in server. One is actually your server hardware, and the other thing is your server operating system. So there is a definition there. It says server is a computer hardware or a software, that is operating system, that provides services to users or clients over a network. It's a very simple and technical definition. Let me just elaborate a bit more. There are two servers. One is server hardware, another one is server operating system. Without server hardware and server operating system, there is no server, my friend. There is no complete server. If you take only hardware, it is a dummy device without an operating system. If you take an operating system in a DVD, operating system will not run in a DVD until and unless you install the operating system on a hardware. So see, both goes hand in hand. It's like, a railway track where there are two tracks. So hardware and software will go hand in hand. Okay. So what is a server hardware here? Server hardware is exactly like your computer, my friend. What you have in your computer or laptop, desktop or laptop, there is some, motherboard for sure, right? Okay, there is some motherboard, there is some processor, there is some hard drive. Okay, that is a storage, there is some power supply. All these things are there in your server or computer hardware. Now see here, friend, the same thing, whatever you have in your computer or a laptop, the same hardware is available in your server also. Got it? I repeat, the same hardware is available in your server. But the difference here is a computer or a laptop, they are designed for a single user. What it means, for example, there is a user here with the name Vicky, or there is a user here with the name Ipsita. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Sorry for that. So if there is a user with the name Mahesh here, Mahesh is using the laptop or a desktop. That means Mahesh is the only person who is using laptop or a desktop. He is the only person who is connected to that particular laptop. If a person like, let's say, Vicky is connected to a laptop. Vicky is the only person who is connected, and Vicky is the only person who can use that particular laptop. So a server, or a laptop or a desktop is designed for a single person. Now, coming to server, server is designed for multiple connection. Server is designed for multiple people to connect at the same time and access the resources from the server. The best example I can say here is right now we are using Zoom meeting. It's an app, it's an application, right? We are using Zoom meeting. Now, where exactly the Zoom meeting is running? The Zoom meeting is actually running somewhere on a server. Now, are we the people who are connected to the Zoom meeting? Are we only the people who are connected to the Zoom meeting as of now? What is the time now? The time is actually 7:30, approximately 7:30 India Standard Time. We are not the only people who are connected to this Zoom meeting, right? Maybe there are some thousands or even lakhs of people connected to this Zoom meeting as of now from different locations for different purpose for different companies. Now the question here is this Zoom meeting, they are running this application on a server, and that server has capability to provide services to all these thousands and lakhs of people at the same time. So their server hardware is much more faster compared to our laptop and desktop hardware. This is a very major point we need to understand here, friends. I repeat, a server hardware is much more superior in storage, in memory, in processing, in power supply. It is much more faster compared to a laptop and a desktop. The reason is we are running some services on server so that people can connect and people can access those services. Got it? See, like I said you, the time is around 7:30 now. Just imagine how many people are connected to Google Pay or Phone Pay as of now. Let's say in India itself, or let's say in a city like Hyderabad. How many people are connected to Google Pay? Thousands and thousands of people as of now at 7:35, they are using Google Pay and Phone Pay to pay money. Now, if it is 10 a.m., the number of people will increase, the number of users will increase, the number of connections will increase, right? So where the connections will increase? The connections will increase to the Phone Pay or the Google Pay server. So there, the server which is running in Phone Pay or Google Pay, they have, more hardware. Okay, fine. I hope you understood. Server is a machine, a physical machine or a hardware machine which has more hardware capabilities. Okay, let me just write it down here. Hardware. So let's say just for uh, example purpose, let's say a server is having 500 TB of storage. Okay, a server is having, let's say, 1000 GB of RAM. We have around 8 GB or 16 GB in our laptops and desktop, but a server is having how much? Let's say 1000 GB of RAM. And coming to processors, CPU, let's say a server is having totally 16 CPUs. How many we have in our laptop and desktop? Only one. But in a server, how many? Totally 16 or 8 or 14, or it can be more actually. Okay. And the last thing that I need to find out here is what will be the cost of this particular server. The cost of this particular server will be approximately, let's say, $6,000. $6,000. Now listen, my friend. A company is spending $6,000 on one particular server, right? On one particular server. Okay. Now, this particular server has the other part also, that is your operating system. Okay. What is the other thing? We have the operating system. Now, the server operating system can be Linux or Windows. Without this operating system, we cannot imagine a server. Without this operating system, whatever money you spend on a server hardware, maybe $600, $6,000, or $20,000, or whatever money you are spending on your server hardware, it is just a hardware machine which can't do anything actually without a server operating system. So, what are the major server operating systems we have? Linux and Windows. See, I've been working on these servers. I have, using these servers for many years now. So I know what is there in Linux and I know what is there in Windows. So without this Linux and Windows server operating system, a server is an incomplete machine. Now, what you see right now on your screen is a complete server, a server with hardware, good hardware configuration, and a server with a server operating system. Now the big question here is why we have to take a server machine by spending that much money, and why we have to take a server operating system again by spending money. What exactly is the reason for bringing a server to our company? Now let me just make one thing clear here. There is no company on the face of the earth where there is only one server. No. Smallest of companies can have 30 to 50 servers. Medium level companies can have, let's say, 100 to 300 servers. Big companies can have thousands and thousands of servers. How many, my friend? Big companies can have some thousands and thousands of servers. So if there are hundreds or thousands of servers, just do the calculation here, my friend. How much money a company have to spend now? Okay, fine. A company has already spent some, lakhs of dollars. In Indian currency, it will be some crores of rupees, and they brought the servers. But why exactly they brought the server? This is the reason, my friend. Now, can you see here? If you know this particular, if you understand this particular slide, it will be very easy for you to understand the concept of cloud computing. See here, this is server hardware. You know this very well now. This is your server operating system, Windows and Linux, all good. But what is the question here? Why we have to take a server hardware and a server operating system? The reason here is to run our applications or services. I repeat, to run our applications or services, we go with this server machine and a server operating system. Now, what is the application or what is a service? See, whatever you use over the internet, that comes under application or service. For example, if I say yesterday, how many things you have used on internet? Let's say from your mobile phone. I will say Phone Pay or Google Pay to pay some money, WhatsApp to send and receive some messages, Twitter or Instagram, some social media app, Ola or Uber, Swiggy or Zomato, Yahoo Messenger or Google Messenger, or Yahoo Mail or Google Mail. Okay, what else? Telegram, maybe. Maybe some, applications to access some news and all those things. Okay, maybe some applications to watch some movies like Netflix and Hotstar and all those things, isn't it? You might have used all these things, and at least some of these things, or maybe more. Now, the big question here is these things, whatever I have said, maybe you paid some money through your, online banking system. So from where these applications are running, or where these applications are running? Now, the answer here is all these applications are running on a server. I repeat, my friend, all these applications are running on a server. So they are running on a server hardware and they are running on a server operating system. So any business, any company, if they wants to start their business, if they want to run their business, they have to bring the operating system and they have to bring the hardware. Without this, they cannot run any application. What are the applications? It can be a web application, email application, file application, banking application, social media application, any government application, any XYZ thing. Whatever things are available over the internet, to run those things, they have to bring a server where they have the hardware part as well as the operating system part. Fine. So for that, they are paying that much money. This is the whole story, my friend. I hope you're with me. I hope you're able to understand. I repeat, Without this server and without the server operating system, we simply cannot run any application. So just imagine internet without applications and services. What is your over the internet now? Nothing. When you say http.google.com, google.com is a web server. When you say http dot, let's say, flipkart.com, flipkart.com is indeed a web server where you can access something. Got in? So if these servers are not available over the internet, we simply cannot access anything over the internet. So can we imagine internet without server? No. Can we imagine a company without a server? No. Like for example, you want to check how much balance is there in your account, bank balance. What you do, you connect to that particular bank server, you just check everything there. Now just imagine the bank people are saying they don't have any server. So if they say they don't have any server, what is the other option for you? You have to go to that particular bank physically, you have to check it. Now, do we do those things nowadays actually? Answer is no. Tell me, when was the last time you paid electricity bill by visiting the electricity office? You pay the electricity bill through phone pay or google pay or some other media, right? So all these things are running on server. Got it? Now how we can take these servers? There are two ways. As of now, let us make it simple and short. There are two ways in which we can take these servers. One is physical servers and second is virtual servers. Just a second, friends. I was just disconnected due to some internet failure. I can see everyone's still here. Thanks for that. Just a second. I need to get back the permissions again. Okay. అది నేను యాక్చువల్లీ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిపోయినా మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ అయితే షేరింగ్ పర్మిషన్ వస్తలేదా పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వండి. Yeah, sorry for this interruption, friends. I hope you can see the screen and I hope I'm audible now. Can you please confirm, anyone? Yeah, thank you. Thanks, friends. Okay, so remember we were discussing about some physical servers here, right? Now see, these are the physical servers. They look exactly like this. So this is one physical server which you can take and where you can install your application. Got it? So like I said, you can install your application on a physical server. But the second option is very famous now. What is that option? That option is actually something called a virtual server. What is the second option? The second option is actually a virtual server. Now, what is the difference between a physical server and a virtual server? Very simple. Physical server is a physical machine that we need to bring and we need to install and we need to run. Got it? Virtual server is a server that we take from a cloud provider. The cloud provider can be Amazon, Microsoft, Google, or any other cloud provider. So we have to take a virtual server from them. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let us make things more easier for us to understand. I'll just connect to my AWS account. See, everyone should have a AWS account so that you can connect to the account and you can do practical. So I have this account here. I'm connecting to this AWS account, and here, okay, there is a question here, how virtual servers work. For that only we are here, my friend. It will take around, 10 classes for us to discuss about virtual server. I'm saying 10 classes. So as of now, how virtual server works? Virtual server works on a data center, which is, managed by the AWS people. Let me just take you through some AWS data centers. Now see here. Can you see these data centers? These are the place where the virtual servers are running actually. You can say Amazon is written there, Amazon Web Services, Google, all these companies have their data centers, right? So inside this, data centers, your virtual servers will work. And by the way, the size of this data center is bigger than a football ground or bigger than a cricket ground, actually, the actual cricket ground. So this is too big a size actually, my friend. Okay. Anyhow, so these are the data centers where they will work. Okay. So what we will discussing here, I just want to show you how the virtual servers we can take. How they are working, that's not an issue, but I just want to show you how we can take it. Okay. See, I'm connected to my console.amazon.com, aws.amazon.com portal. So this is my actual AWS account. So very soon we will see how we can create our AWS account. I'll show you how you can create your account and how you can do practicals. It's a free account, okay, with some limitations, but overall it is free. Okay. So what I'll do now is in next 2 minutes, just give me next 2 minutes, I will launch a web server. What I'll do, I will launch a web server. What is a web server? We know this very well. Web server is a server that you can access over the internet from any location, right? So as of now, I'm sitting somewhere in Hyderabad in India. Maybe you're sitting in Hyderabad or some other part of India or maybe some other country. That is also possible, right? So the web server that I'll create now, everyone should access that web server from your location. Done. I'm not explaining you things what I'm doing here. I am very sorry for that. It will take around 20 classes for me to explain all the things what I'm doing here. But as of now, I just want to show you how easy it is for me to take a virtual server. So remember server, without a server, we cannot run any application. So we have to go with physical server. For physical server, we need to spend lot of money. But for virtual server, initially, we can take virtual server for free and later on we can pay some money according to our convenient or according to our usage. So virtual servers are much more, easier to take and easier to, run the applications compared to the physical server. So from where we can take virtual server? From a cloud provider. Okay, let me just go to this service called EC2. I will say the name of this machine as, let's say, test web server. What is this machine? Test web server. See here, you can see clearly there are some Microsoft Server operating systems, Linux operating systems, each and everything is available here. So I just want to select one of the operating system which I've already selected here. And then there is something called instance type. Here it is showing you like how much GB RAM you need, how much GB hard disk you need. So again, I have selected some basic settings here. And now it is asking me to go with something called key pair. What is key pair and all these things we will see, friends. But as of now, let's say test September. What is the date today? 10th, right? Yeah, 10th September. I'm just creating something here. Something like a password for my server. Okay. Then there is something called network settings. See, remember when I started the session, I told you in cloud, we'll be learning about networks, we'll be learning about firewalls, and we'll be learning about servers. So within one screen, you can see all these things. You can see some server part there, security part, as well as the network part. Okay. In regular classes, we'll go in deep, but as of now, let me just go and select all the settings here, whatever I need to select. I'll say edit settings. Okay, some subnet here, friends. Public IP address, all good. So there is some SSH protocol here. I need to add one more protocol called HTTP. This one. I'll go like anywhere. I'm just adding something there, friends. Okay, then if I come down here in advanced details, there is some script option here. So I'll do one thing. I have a script here. I'll copy this script. I'll go to my browser again. Done. Now I will add names. So let us say Shakil, Durga, Dora Babu, Ipsita, Raja, Vicky, Arfa, Arifa, let's say Sachin, Virat, Shahrukh. I've just added some names here. Actually, these are the names which will come in our website. So you can see your name as well as some, names like Sachin, Virat, Shah Rukh Khan and all those things. So just for your practical purpose, I have just added your names in the website. I'll do one thing now. Let me go and check everything again. Okay, I have selected operating system, some hardware. I have, you know, uh, done some network settings here, which is again mandatory. Then I have done some firewall settings, that is also mandatory. I have taken some storage as of now only 8 GB, that is more than enough for us now. Okay, then I have added a particular script here with all the names. Done. What I'll do here is I'll send launch instance. But see here, friends, this place, Northern Virginia, it is somewhere in USA. What I did right now is I have selected Northern Virginia as the data center for my web server. I'm in Hyderabad. I can easily go with Mumbai, which is in India itself, right? Or we have Hyderabad also. Amazon people have data centers in two locations in India. One is Mumbai, one is Hyderabad. These are the two places. So I can go with Mumbai as well as Hyderabad, but just for practical purpose, I have selected Northern Virginia here. Okay. Now I'll just say launch instance. Now I'm creating my web server in Northern Virginia data center of Amazon company. And what it shows you as success. Let us go back to these instances now. See here, friends, the instance is already running here, right? The instance is already running. How much time it took us to create a web server, to take a virtual server and to create a web server? Hardly 2 minutes, isn't it? But to discuss about all the options that are available, like what is Elastic Block Store, network and security, load balancer, auto scaling, it may take around 10 classes for me. This is just a demo session, so I have simply created a web server. Now let us see whether we can access this or not. There is something called public IP address. You can see here 18.209.241.90. So I'll just copy this IP address here. I'll go to my browser, paste the IP. Done. Can you see the web server there? This is what we have written in our web server, right? All our names, and I have just added some celebrity names here, right? So our web server is ready. Now I can access the web server from my computer. But what about you, friends? Let's see. I'm sending this IP address in chat box. Just try to copy this IP and paste this IP in your browser and tell me if you are able to access the web server or not. And please tell me from which city you are accessing this web server. Fine, Wiki can access. Great. From which location, Wiki? Vishakhapatnam, Hyderabad. Can I see someone out of India, if possible, if anyone here? Okay, so everyone can connect to this particular web server and everyone can access the web server over the internet. Now see here, friends, how easy it is for us or how easy it is for companies to run their business now, to run their applications now. Do they need to bring all physical servers? No, that will be too much. Bringing physical servers will cost them too much money and they need to spend a lot of money on it. They need to spend a lot of time. They need to spend time as well as money. But once they go with the cloud computing, my friend, whether it is Amazon, Microsoft, Azure, whatever, once they go with the cloud, it is very easy for them to run their applications, store their data. Done. So my web server is running over the internet. Okay. And this web server is actually physically located in which data center? It is physically located in Northern Virginia data center, which is somewhere in USA. Now I'll do one thing. My work is done. I'll select that machine. I'll go to instance state. I'll just say terminate. Shutting down. So I'm just terminating. Terminating means deleting this machine. So once I delete this machine, can you access this machine again? Answer is no. So see how easy it is for us to take servers virtually and delete the servers which are running virtually in a data center. Now this is what we learn in cloud computing. Okay, this is the actual thing we learn in cloud computing. Let me just take you through the course details here. Hopefully at the end of the class, after the session is completed, they will share you the document with you, the course syllabus and each and everything. So this is Linux actually. This is not our course. This is our course. Linux is a separate course. I will highly recommend you to go and learn Linux. Hopefully next week I'll be starting a Linux course also, Linux class also. So hopefully you can join that particular class. But as of now, I can say you, any person who is connected to the, IT industry, they should know the Linux servers. Okay, fine. So as of now, this is our AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay, so we have not started anything. We are simply trying to understand what is cloud and some more things in very basic way. In next couple of classes, we'll just go a bit deep into cloud so that we can have the perfect idea about cloud and what we can do in cloud and how far we can go in cloud. I'll say one thing loud and clear here. Today, that is 10th September 2024, if you have decided to go as a cloud carrier, if you have decided to go in cloud carrier, I can say one thing, my friend, you have selected a great career for yourself. You can see yourself in cloud computing or things that are related with cloud computing for rest of your life. That much scope, that many options are there in this particular cloud computing, my friend. Okay, so they will share the syllabus with you today after this code, after this demo. So then you can come with the questions and all the doubts hopefully tomorrow. Okay. Now there is a question here. After learning AWS cloud computing, what we will be able to do, how this will be helpful to our career development or testing. See, this is actually your administration. When you say cloud computing, you're talking about administration. Whether you're in the development field or a testing field, I have trained many people here actually who are working as a working on some testing tool, or who are working as a programmer, or working on develop as a programmer, developer, whatever. They come and they learn cloud computing. You know the reason? Their companies are asking them to learn this actually. But why? See, when as a developer or as a testing person, you do something there, where you do? You do exactly on a server, right? So where is this server? It is in cloud. So if you have to connect to a server, you should know something called VPC service, EC2 service, IAM service, and storage service. So you should know how to use the cloud environment so that you can connect and you can do your testing and programming and all those things. Got it? You should know this cloud so that you can work as a developer there or as a tester there. Without this, you cannot, connect to the cloud. See, maybe like 5 years before you were connected to physical server, which is within your company, it was much more easier. But now it's a different thing. Okay, one more question is there. In Linux, do we need scripting? First, you need to go with Linux administration, my friend. First, you need to go with Linux administration. Then, obviously, once you finish your Linux administration, you will not stop without learning scripting, actually. Normally, at the beginning of your career, if you go and think about many things, nothing will come in your way. First, try to learn what is there, what is mandatory, then the other things will come step by step. So first go with the Linux administration. Then once you know the Linux administration, the scripting will be much more easier for you to understand. So you simply cannot learn scripting without Linux administration or without knowing the Linux administration. Okay. We'll come to this course details in more details tomorrow. First, you need to get this, details from them so that you can go through this and you can have some questions probably. But I hope you understood some basics of cloud today. Let me just take you back to this paintbrush. You can see here clearly. The main thing is your server, isn't it? You can take a server hardware, that is your physical server, or you can take a virtual server. Hmm? Today, if you ask me, friends, let's say the year is 2005 or 2004, exactly 20 years before. 20 years before, if you ask me a question like where the web servers are working over the internet, I would have said like, 99% web servers are working on a physical server. But today in the year 2024, if you ask me where the web servers are running, today I will say around 90% web servers are running on virtual servers. Such a big difference is there, right? Around 90. Okay, so just see the difference there. Within 20 years, approximately 90% servers are running over the virtual servers over the cloud. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. I'll do one thing. I'm just sharing a number here so that if you have any other doubts or any queries, you can simply contact me. This is my WhatsApp number. You can simply contact me on this number to get any other, if you have any other queries or any other, questions or doubts or whatever. This is only for WhatsApp, friends. So just try to ping me on WhatsApp so that you can interact with me and you can clear all your doubts. Not only for the demo session as well as for our regular classes, you can keep this number and you can interact with me. Okay, so that's it for the day. I'm here only for 30 seconds. So if you have any doubts, we will clear everything as for today, or else we'll come back again tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have one more demo session where we will go with a bit more details of cloud computing probably. And we will see like, how it is helping us or how it is helping the companies and each and everything in our tomorrow session. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. Have a nice day. Hope to see you again tomorrow. But before I go, like I said you before, if you have already decided to go with cloud computing as your career, friends, you have selected a great career for yourself. For cloud, you can go with like, Linux administration, DevOps, or cyber security. There are many, many, many options available for you. But the starting point should be somewhere. So today was the starting point for you. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow at 10 time.